Podcast coming to you live on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving. If you're from anywhere in Indiana, you're experiencing 400-mile-an-hour winds outside. It is absolutely mind-boggling. It's bonkers. This is episode 21, where we talk sports, we talk Purdue, we talk a little bit of everything, fun banter in between. This episode is a bit of a special one, so we're going to kind of give the state of college basketball as we see it. We'll go through each of the main conferences, some takeaways, some awards, some winners, some losers, some good, some bad, and some ugly. And then we'll hit some big overarching topics that have been going around college basketball. Obviously, one just right out of the gate, players era has been a huge topic. But overall, we're just going to kind of hit through this. This is Dalton here, my co-host. I'm Derek. If you do not know already, obviously you probably do if you're watching this show. But if it's your first time, please hit that like and subscribe button. Get in the comment section, talk to us. We would love to hear from you and engage with you guys as our listeners. It always keeps the show lively, keeps it interesting, and keeps us on our toes, honestly. So this season's already been pretty electric. We started, I believe, with like 90 straight wins by ranked teams over unranked teams, which kind of shows the new divide in college basketball with the transfer portal and everything else going on. But that dam has broken, and I expect that to continue to go the other direction with some upsets, some craziness, some of the madness that we expect. So, in my opinion, this far into the season, we have 10 to 12 elite top-level teams, and then a whole bunch below that, kind of in that mid-tier that don't feel like real title contenders. Now, obviously, that could change. We're early in the season. We don't know as much as we think we know. But at the end of the day, I do think there's some separation at that top 10 to 12 teams. We'll run down some of the biggest games here shortly, but that have happened recently. But Dalton, how have you been? How's it going? How's your weekend been? You've been catching up on some college basketball this week?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've done since Tuesday. So just watch ball. We moved the couch around today and cleaned a little bit, but other than that, it's been all college basketball. It's been great. Been a great week. I was off today, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm ready for tomorrow. Gonna eat
Absolutely.
a lot of food. Um, yeah. You got any big plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, we got a couple Thanksgivings to go to. Two to be specific. One at my dad's and one at my wife's sister's. My wife's sister's son is here, Landon. Shout out to you, Landon, at the house, holding down the fort. And I know Jameson's watching. Also want to say hi to Blake. He's in the chat as always. He's always first. Our local early bird gets the worm guy. And
Blake, you're gonna be on here soon.
eventually, yes, sir. And Saluki jumping in, saying Michigan and Gonzaga will be a good one tonight. I agree. I can't wait to watch that game. We're going to try to wrap this up just before that game starts, so that everybody can get to that is watching us. But without further ado, we'll kind of get started. We're going to hit a bunch of different stuff during this. We're going to hit basically every major power conference, kind of our thoughts, some awards. We're going to hit some major overarching topics, some games that recently happened, and then some games that are about to happen. So we will start out with just running down some of the biggest games that have happened recently, and I'll let you kind of hit on each one if you want. So first, Friday, we had Purdue 86-56 over Texas Tech. We did a full recap of this game. In my opinion, just utter domination. Purdue gets 7 guys in double figures. I don't think Texas Tech is as bad as they played in that game. Not sure if Purdue's as good as they looked in that game either, but it did turn out to be a dominant game. What were your thoughts on that game? Real quick, I know we hit on it long form already.
Yeah, I just think Texas Tech had one of those games. Bad one. We talked about it. It's like it happens.
Not sure if Purdue's as good as they looked in that.
It's nothing huge for Texas Tech. I think they respond well. They're still, 58th and well, no, they're not. They're 30th in offensive rating and 28th in defensive on Ken Palm, so they're still going to be fine.
Yeah.
They'll bounce back. Purdue tomorrow. I don't like cupcake games, but or Friday. Friday is a cupcake, so
Yeah, it's the worst team Purdue's going to play all year. Not really concerned about it. I will be in attendance with my son and my dad, so excited to be there. Not sure if you're going to go ahead and do a Spaces on your own I'll let that up to you. It's not a big game, so I don't know how much there'll be to talk about. But moving along, BYU gets a win, 98-70 over Wisconsin. A lot of people were high on Wisconsin at the beginning of this year. Not sure how you could have watched that game. I watched about half of it. Not sure how you could see that game and think Wisconsin's got a whole lot in the bag. But Saunders has 26. BYU rolls. What were your thoughts on that? BYU's had one of those weird seasons where they either show up and they are dominant, or they don't show up and you're just like, what are you doing?
I think also Wisconsin is the same way.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat people in the Big Ten that they shouldn't, and I think that BYU is streaky like that. They're like a Michigan. I think Michigan's beatable. I think they they catch the bucket on fire sometimes, but if they're not, they're easily beatable. I think it's just like Houston. They don't score. And if Michigan has one of those games, they're pretty much Houston. They're going to D up, play nasty, and I don't know. BYU, I'm not thoroughly impressed with them. I think Devonta is crazy good. I think Rob Wright is overrated. I think that Saunders kid is really good. Um, but I don't know, to put all the pieces together that quickly to compete with these, 4-year senior teams is going to be something to talk about. What are your thoughts in that area as far as meshing a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with that many freshmen transfers, so on and so forth, it's always going to be a little difficult to hit on cylinders right away. And I think that's why you see with some of these teams that have a lot of transfers this huge variance early in the season, where one game they look exceptional and one game they look just mediocre. That's going to apply to in this new era of college basketball to a lot of teams, and I think BYU's probably as glaring of an example of that as we have yet. But a huge win there. Obviously, you win by 30 over Wisconsin on any night. That's Wisconsin giving up 100. Probably they got a little bit of their booties reamed post that. So next one I'll go to is a big game we saw this week. Gonzaga 95 over Bama 85. A lot of the people that doubting Gonzaga got a little taste of their own medicine here. I think they are the real deal. Everybody on their team's 45 or older. They like to go to the bars after games. High level game. EK goes 21-11. I was one of those people that really wasn't that confident in Gonzaga, to be honest, but they've looked solid. They're going to get another huge test tonight. But what were your thoughts on that? Obviously, we saw Bama. They play a gauntlet of a schedule, so they're going to lose some of these games, believe it or not. This was one of the ones that they lost. What was your thoughts?
Live and die by the three.
Yeah.
You die by the three as well. It's not just living. Alabama still put up 85 points in a loss,
Yeah.
and I think Gonzaga was pretty well in control of that game the entire time. Gonzaga's hard for me to watch, bro.
Yeah.
Because their games don't start till 11 o'clock at night, and sometimes I have to be up early in the morning. So I don't get to watch them a lot. From what I've seen, they're dominant. They're really good. They probably should be in the top 3. I would probably put them over Houston at this point. I don't think Houston belongs in the top 3, but that's another conversation for a question down the road. Gonzaga handling business. We'll see what they do tonight. Like Saluki said, they got the top of the top in the Big Ten. We'll see what they're really made of.
Yep. Agree. They have a bunch of early big games, and then they go into hibernation for the next 2 months where they won't lose. But they've looked good. And like you said, I don't get to see a ton of their games. Normally I'll watch like the first half and then go to bed. But in the end, they've won every game they've played, and they've won them pretty convincingly. Like you said, this game really wasn't even that close. It didn't feel like watching it. I did watch this one, and I don't think that Gonzaga, they're up to number 1 on KenPom, and I think that's probably deserving as of right now. We'll see. They got a big game tonight. I believe they play a couple more big games here before their conference season starts. So we'll get a full picture of who Gonzaga is, but I think that they're pretty close to the real deal. We'll move on. The next game, Iowa State beats St. John's 83-82. I think they surprised a lot of people who were really, really high on St. John's and not so high on Iowa State. I think Iowa State, and I believe they're top 5 on KenPom now. Iowa State is a real contender in the Big 12. I think people counted them out with Arizona and Houston, but I really believe that they are there. They have talent all over the place. They're aggressive. They play good defense. What was your thoughts? Milan Momcilovic, I believe is how you pronounce it, plays for them. He's the real deal. He had the 21 in this game or 23, something like that. Just a
Yeah,
very good international player.
he gets buckets whenever he wants.
Yeah,
I mean, he'll back you down. He can shoot fadeaway jumpers. I liked watching him, but really, I think Jefferson is the man.
he's
Like,
good.
I honestly have him as my Big 12 player of the year. I know that's unrealistic, but statistically, he's 18.3, 8.2 rebounds, 4.2 assists right now. I mean, that's a stat line. And, Lipsy was out for the last 2 games, and I feel like him and I can't say his name. Anyways, I'm talking about the guy you just mentioned.
Oh, Momcilovic.
Yeah, I mean they're tough, man. Their offensive ratings 12, defensive rating 5 on KenPom, 7-0. They're proven, they're battle tested. It's gonna be a banger when they come into Mackey.
Yeah, I'm excited. That game is in a little over a week, and I
Yeah,
Iowa State got hosed in the Players Era tournament where they go 2-0, beat 2 good teams, and don't even get to play. They playing for 5th place.
yeah. It's
Dumb format. We'll
oh,
get into the Players Era, in a little bit, but unfair to them. They don't even get to play for any sort of money for their players when they probably had the best total performance of anybody other than Michigan. So a little bit crazy there, but Iowa State's a real deal. It'll be interesting to see how they do come into Mackey Arena. It's a different ball game when you come into Mackey. But next
yeah.
game, got 3 more games here. Auburn wins over Oregon, 84-73. Todd Pettiford goes for 24 points. Auburn's been another team that's just up and down. Like they'll have a great game, bad game, good game. I don't know what Oregon is. I expected them to be a little better than what they've looked. What are your thoughts on these teams and what you see from them moving forward?
I don't think Oregon's that good. I really don't think Auburn is that good either. I think they're big and athletic. I think they're a typical team, but I don't know, man. It's like, Pearl should have been ready. This is basically his dad's team,
You would think.
and I don't think they're lacking. I think they have players. Looking forward to Purdue and Iowa State. Our last competitive non-con, we will blow out Auburn by 20 plus. Let's go, dude. Saluki with a big call right there. I really hope so. I hope we beat them by 45.
Little
But
redemption.
I don't think New Pearl, Nepo baby Pearl is it, man. I watched that game and they just don't impress me, man. Pettiford's good, obviously we knew that, but they're undisciplined. They take early shot clock threes, just it's silly ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and I'll skip over one, and we'll hit that last. But the next one's Michigan beats Auburn 102-72. 6 guys in double figures for Michigan, absolutely dominant. This is what we've kind of seen from Michigan. They either absolutely annihilate the team in front of them and they look unbeatable, or they struggle a little bit and their point guard play shuts them down. In this game, they went away from Cadeau and went to Roddy Gale and Trey Kinney a little bit more, and that really worked out for them. So I don't know if that's going to be the plan moving forward, but we'll get into Michigan when we hit the Big Ten side of things. But what were your overall thoughts on what Michigan's looked like in this tournament so far, and just what they are at their peak might be the best or one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the country?
Yeah, they are the best team in the country. When
Yeah.
they're firing and they don't have turnovers and Elliot Cadeau doesn't play that much, I think Cadeau is the X factor. You run Roddy Gale at point, I mean, you're unstoppable. Like, I just don't know how you beat them. They've got Mara down low, 7-3. Andy's in the house. Happy Thanksgiving, Andy. I just don't know how you beat Michigan when they're firing. Well, you gotta hope you catch them on a bad night. It's like, but I also just said Auburn's not that good, man.
Yeah, I think Auburn's that weird, has the athleticism and talent, but doesn't have the, because like Pettiford was talking about their coach recently. They asked him what's the difference between Bruce and his son. He goes, well, his son's more our age, he's more cool, gets us. Well, like, okay, well, that doesn't always work.
No.
Sometimes you need a leader, not a buddy.
Yep.
And so it kind of feels like that's where where they're at right now. I
I
see your
agree.
your your thing here, Saluki. We'll get into some of those games coming up here before we end today, so I'm not gonna put that up there yet. But last game here, Tennessee beats Houston 76-73. This kind of, I think, was a surprise, mostly because Houston kind of was in control of this game for a lot of it. Gillespie and Ament uh, are one of the best 1-2 punches in the country. They are exceptional. Gillespie's awesome. He was last year as well. But what's your thoughts on Tennessee? I think personally, in my opinion, and I hate to say this, that Tennessee might be the most underrated team in the country at number 17. I think they're a top 5 team in the sport.
Yeah, I'm full agreement. I got my feelings about Tennessee. We've had our run-ins with them, but man, this team, they got strong leadership, older guys, and then they got the young bucks to follow it up with. I just don't know how deep they are. I think right now they're playing top five ball, and I agree with you on them being highly underrated right now. I think that's a sleeper, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, heck, right now they're up 10 on Kansas.
Yeah,
So I just don't see a world where they're not fighting for that SEC title, and it ended up probably. I'm guessing they're going to end up somewhere around a 2 or 3 seed. They're certainly not a 4 or 5 seed like they're ranked right now. So I don't, like I said, AP rankings are garbage anyway. But that's the recap of those big games that have recently happened. Obviously, there's other games, and I'm sure depending on the team you follow, maybe you care more or less about those games, but those were the big ranked matchups here in the last week or so that really caught my attention. So we'll move on to just some overarching kind of college basketball topics. So we'll hit the most current and active one. If you're on social media, you've seen it all over the place. The players era social media, I'll call it a debacle. Um, it's like every media head on Twitter, on everywhere, is trying to force us to believe that this players era
playoff.
event, playa players era event is something that we've all always dreamed of, that we've just begged for this, that this might be better than the NCAA tournament, that the fans are crazy and there's millions of people there. When we can literally watch the television and know none of that's really true. The format is complete garbage. There's the stands are maybe a quarter full. And they're like, well, those are morning games. No, I'm literally watching Kansas and Tennessee, huge matchup, hardly any fans. I don't really care even that much about the fan side of it. It's the format that bothers me. A team like Iowa State getting not to be able to play, no, there's no bracket. It's just like some made up rules, and you're playing for actual cash money dollars here. So how can it not be a bracket?
Right.
What are your thoughts on the gosh, I can't talk, players era, and everything going around on social media um, involved with it? Obviously, they have exceptional teams, but it seems to have caused a lot of controversy.
Yeah, I think the Players Era is a booty tournament. I think Vegas is a booty city to have a tournament in, leading up to Thanksgiving. I think it's all about the money at this point in college basketball, and we're seeing that. Like you're looking at maybe an Elite Eight, Sweet 16 matchup right now, and I mean I bet you could get a seat for $20.
Right.
I can't go to Mackey for less than 130 right now for any game. Like, um, I don't like it. I don't like tournaments in Vegas. I think this format's goofy as hell. Craig Bowers did a nice write up on it, on his thoughts, and Craig doesn't really like to stir the waves. The matchups are incredible, man. I mean, bringing all this talent together, not gonna hate there. Like Andy said, the matchups are good, but it's nothing special. The format's dumb. Like, okay, so it's basically who you get matched up with.
Right.
Like, because I mean, Iowa State had a win over St. John's, and then they followed that with beating the booty hole off of Creighton. Like, I what do you want, dude? I mean, it's based on how much you win by. Okay, so say you draw Syracuse, yeah, you probably are gonna win by a lot.
Well, yeah.
So
What was it? What was it? Was it Kansas played Syracuse and Rutgers? Somebody like that. Like,
yeah,
so you get in because you didn't have to play anybody and got luck of the draw. It's a Big 12 fest. Like, all this is a bunch of Big 12 teams, and then a couple randos like Michigan and Gonzaga. But I don't know. I love the idea of this tournament. I hate the
yeah,
execution of it. So, like, yeah, if we can get, like, next year they're talking about 32 teams. If we can get 32 great teams, and they don't all have to be great, but if we're going to get 32, we have 5 power conferences. Give me 5 from each of those. That's 25. And give me 7 mid majors. Okay. Make it split up like a March Madness style tournament. Give me a bracket. Don't tell me you're going to do it over 3 weeks with pods. And no, sorry, that's stupid. Um,
yeah,
if you're like, you could do a 32 team tournament, which I still think 16 would be fine, but 32 team tournament in a full week,
yeah,
a week and a half max, because you really have to play. That's 8 games on day one, 4 games on day two, 2 games on day three, and then a title game. So you can have
yeah,
4 days of basketball that simulates March Madness and creates an awesome atmosphere. Do it in a regular gym, not one of these weird, crazy ones. Do it in a gym with 8,000 seats.
yeah,
My favorite thing I saw on Twitter from this was somebody suggesting they do an MTE only in Indiana high school basketball arenas.
yeah. That was TSB stats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
loved that. Love
yeah,
that.
that would be sick. I mean, high school arenas in Indiana are built for that. I mean, that would be so sick, dude.
Oh, and you would get you. They would fill them all up.
Yeah.
And there's heck, we have what 9 of the top 10 arenas in the country in Indiana in high school. But
I'm
either
not
way,
sure on that stat, but yeah, I know we have some really good high school arenas. But I I don't know, man. I don't think the players era is it. I want a bracket. I like brackets.
hmm
Everybody likes brackets. You want to give the college basketball fans something to cheer about? Give them a bracket. Take the
yeah,
32 teams and pay them each equally to go. The winner gets a bonus. I mean, I'd be stoked. It'd be like the thing in the NBA, the cup. I like.
right. Make a bracket, and then for every win, you get a bonus. So if you make it
Yeah,
to the second round, third round, fourth round, and the bonus gets bigger every round. Um,
it's
you
great.
know, Figure something out, but they don't sound like they have any interest in listening to what anybody has to say, and they've convinced all these media heads that this is the greatest tournament that's ever been made.
I think
Um,
I think Doster's had some really good takes on this. I mean, he's obviously not a fan of it, so
right, right, and then
I,
you have guys like Goodman out here screaming and yelling that everybody needs to shut up and accept the way college basketball is, as he complains about other things that's going on with college basketball.
bro,
So
Goodman is the worst example of all time. Probably the like I don't it's like Andy Katz. I don't know how those two have jobs. But
yeah.
I that's me, and I'm a hater, a known hater. So,
We'll move on from the players era. Everybody's got their own opinion of that, but I we briefly talked about this before, and you said you hadn't seen it, but the new replay rules, and you can kind of just give your 2 cents on what you think of them overall, where you can only challenge something if you have a timeout available, and you only get one challenge. No, it used to be at the end of these games we'd have stoppage, 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 and it felt really choppy, and we had to change something. Now, my thought is that the change we made isn't perfect. I don't believe that the correct way to do this is if you don't have a timeout left, a wrong call can ruin a game.
yeah.
And that's exactly what happened in the USC game. Ball was clearly out against them. The other team did not have a challenge left, therefore, or a timeout left, therefore they could not challenge. And USC ends up winning the game on a just bad call. I mean, obviously, blatantly bad call. I don't love that. That being said, things change, coaches have to adjust, and I think the best coaches in the country you'll start seeing them always have a timeout in their bag. Because if you don't, and you have 12 seconds left in the game and you've used your last timeout, you're screwed if the bad call happens. You can't challenge it. It's the way it is. And that's an adjustment that's going to take time. But to me, in that scenario, there's got to be another fix where either you give the coach an extra timeout, like coaches get an extra timeout in the second half, something, because they don't really what do they get? 2 or 3 timeouts. It's not a lot. I know they have media timeouts, 4. But is it 4 per half? 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't think it was that many. Either way, it feels like this, and this is an imperfect science, but it feels like we're not quite there on if this is correct. I think they're going to find in the tournament or in a really big moment this season, a missed call is going to cost someone a chance to win a national title. And that's, to me, is the worst possible outcome.
Yeah. My thoughts on the timeout situation. You know what? If you don't have one and you challenge, the other team should get a free throw in the ball. Why not make it that way? Because if you're sure enough to challenge it, you better be sure on it. That's an easy way to fix that. If you're out of timeouts in the second half and you want to challenge, you miss it.
Oh, if you're wrong, you're saying if you're wrong?
The ball.
Okay.
Yeah, like it would cost you your timeout and your challenge if you had one.
Essentially.
But if you don't.
Like what you're saying basically is if you're wrong, it essentially applies the same rule as if you called a timeout without any left. It's a technical.
Yeah, like it's a technical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I think personally, if every other sports league in America outside of college basketball can implement a automatic review that's quick and efficient in the last minute of games, I just don't understand why college basketball can't do it. Like we've gotten to the point with all these other leagues that it's pretty quick, honestly. They have an outside team that's watching the game, or that the game will get sent to the second there's a challenge or an issue, and they'll have it solved in 10 seconds. But there's so many, I don't know. It's a weird situation.
If you're falling out of bounds, Saluki, you should not be able to call a timeout. Ooh, that's
interesting.
That's a tough one, man. The way I see it is you don't get enough timeouts. So if you're willing to throw that away because you're about to fall out, you should have to have both feet on the floor.
I've always had the thought yes, there you go. I was about to say that. I've always had the thought you shouldn't be able to call a timeout in midair.
Like, yeah, if you're falling out or you're sliding out and your feet are not on the floor, that's a BS timeout, dude. That's a bailout. But if you're
call a timeout in the air.
Yeah. No way, dude. If you're not on the floor, planted with the ball in full possession, you should not be able to call a timeout. So
I agree.
Okay, holy crap, dude! My house is about to blow away, dude.
Oh, it's wild outside. Let's move on to. We'll kind of hit a couple more of these. March Madness expansion. Obviously, this has been talked about ad nauseum. I am one of the maybe few that says I don't really care. If you want to add more teams, great. Doesn't bother me. More games, fine. I think we can hit a point where it becomes like, what's the point of the regular season? And that's a question that we have to answer. But in my opinion, if you want to change it from 68 to 72 or from 68 to 80, I don't care. It's just more games. That, in my opinion, that don't end up mattering in the long run, because those are bad teams that are playing games to go play a really good team and probably lose.
Yeah, I think if you want to add a playing game for like the 2 seed too, I don't see necessarily maybe the top 4 seeds get play-ins or something. Right now it's 11 and 1 that get.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you would do that. I'm a big proponent of, if it ain't broke, you don't break it. And I think the tournament is perfect right now the way it is. But yeah, I mean, more basketball. I don't know.
I look at it as,
sign me up.
people got upset when they went from 16 to 32 and 32 to 60, whatever they, there's always going to be people. It's always going to bother people when change occurs. I don't think we need more teams. Heck, we have what 1/6 of the teams in college basketball get into the tournament.
Yeah,
That's kind of
man.
crazy. How many do we truly need before it's just too much? But we can move on from that. That's obviously something that's been talked about a million times. So has this, but I'll let you hit on it because I know you're passionate about it. G leaguers coming to play, 23-year-olds, 21-year-olds from the G League from overseas coming and playing college basketball. Illinois has a 21-year-old freshman from overseas. It's becoming a bit of a, and I hate to say this, but we all kind of have to admit it. It's just a semi-pro basketball league.
Hate it. Absolutely despise it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, once you go to that level, overseas or not, like, we're benefiting from it with Omer, but it's like, do I want it to continue? No. Like, if you're good enough to play pros, this is supposed to be like what high school kids look forward to. I'm fine with the transfer portal, but I do think you should have to sit out a year. Like, I
Uh,
think you should be able to transfer, but you sit out a year. You better make sure, like, you're making a good decision when you transfer.
yeah,
Like,
Saluki
it
says
better be worth it.
absolutely no G League should be allowed.
No, I mean, why? You tried it. You tried to go pro. Just because you can come back to college and make more money, it's asinine, dude. Just get better. You have a straight path to the NBA. They can call you up whenever they want out of the G League. If you are not good enough to get in the NBA, that is your problem. Don't come back and ruin college basketball for a little bit of cheese. Like, I don't know. Like, it's taking the dream away. Like, you're gonna have 4-star high school kids going to Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna be going to Colgate. Like, you're gonna have a 5-star kid on Colgate
Well,
because all these. Ah, man, I
I
hate it.
think we're not. It's not an impossible thought that in sometime in the future we have two different college basketball leagues, where one is like a high major college basketball league and or like even like a semi-pro league, and one is a true, probably like a almost like a JV, like only freshmen and sophomores, like a U21, something like that.
Mm,
I could see that happening. It's essentially college is essentially becoming what the G League was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a development
yeah,
league for the NBA where you get paid while you're learning. Now that's college, and college gets paid so much more that why wouldn't you? If I'm a guy who's in the G League making 50 grand a year, going, man, I can go to college and make fucking million. Um, I don't blame the
yeah.
kids for this. That's my point. I don't blame the kids, the young adults, whatever you want to call them. I blame the people at the top who are just
I
letting whatever happens happen.
It's smart.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a son who was 22 in the
Yeah,
G
it's
League
like a
and
tax loophole. Like,
right,
if somebody find that tax loophole, like, by all means exploit it. Like, I'm not blaming the G League kids if I can go back to college and make a milli or 2 milli to
right,
ball and play and have fun and live on campus. I'm gonna do it too because you know why? Because the G League sucks.
right.
It's trash. It's trash league. It's trash ball. Nobody watches it. Nobody goes to the game. Like, I remember people talking about the Mad Ants. You know how many Mad Ants games I went to? Zero.
Right.
And I watch ball, dude. I love ball. I'll go to any ball. But the G League is garbage. It's stupid. Um, yeah, I don't blame the kids. I do think the NCAA is ruining the game. NIL is ruining the game. I think that it should be capped. I'm getting old, I guess. It's
We
like, I
both
mean, I
are.
know kids like Jameson probably love it. It's like little kids, they probably think it's awesome, but I don't. I want to know who's on my team.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being a Purdue fan, I guess, is we do get to know our players and fall in love with them over time. And
That's what I'm
but
saying.
yeah,
The
the
culture.
it's unfortunate, and I hope that they get some regulations and stuff. But Okay, I think we've covered that. Yeah, I agree, Saluki.
Yeah, we need a cap. Well, it's
The
like one more thing on this. It's like you've seen. So self, when you were not allowed to pay players, Kansas number one every year, dude. Just
Mhm.
great teams, great teams. Oh, Bill Self's a legendary coach. Blah blah blah. Now that everybody else can pay, you are seeing what Kansas really is.
Oh yeah,
Self's a known cheater, dude. Like known cheater. So you are seeing them catch up. I
yeah,
mean,
and without naming them, that applies to a lot of schools.
not a lot, yeah, but I'm just saying self in general because Kansas, man, I used to hate it every year, man. Just
Yeah,
loaded with 5-star talent. Like, oh, how do you get that in the middle of Kansas? Nobody wants to go live in Kansas.
dude, don't tell that to the girl. God, I'm blanking on the movie. I'm trying to explain. We're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz.
There you go,
Yeah.
Dorothy. Okay, moving on. This is kind of a two-parter. Overall, MTE views. You know these early season tournaments. What is your take on them? And with that, because my point here is, there's a lot of people out there who say get rid of them altogether and just have these high-level matchups. You're seeing them. You know, Purdue just signed another one with Tennessee, home and home. We've got obviously Iowa State, Auburn, Alabama. A lot of teams are doing this, and people want these MTEs just get out of here. Like, let's just play good teams against good teams. Now, the second part of this question is the difference between certain teams, certain programs who do go play these crazy hard schedules like Alabama, Purdue, even Duke, Michigan State, all these teams, or some of these teams, not necessarily to be named, Indiana, that go play these absolute dog crap schedules so they can go be 10, 12, and 0. And everybody's like, oh, they're so good. Look, let's rank Indiana, even though they haven't played anybody. Duke's so good. Duke hasn't played a single team inside the top 200. They may have at this point, but they hadn't for the first 4 or 5 games. And it's like, what's the best formula here? Is it these MTEs? And if it is, should a certain number of should certain caliber of teams be required to play in an MTE, or what do you think is the solution here that kind of serves both sides of this?
Yeah, for me, I love the MTEs. I like actual tournaments. I
Yeah.
even though the Baja Mar like production sucked, I think it was an awesome tournament. Like you had four really good teams. I used to love Maui, man. I'd get so hype, for the Maui Invitational because it always had like Duke, Michigan State, freaking everybody you wanted to see play, man. Uh, I'll jump into that. Indiana's signature win to date is K State.
I was about to say they just got it right.
58th in Ken Palm. Trash team.
Doug McDaniel ain't walking through that K State door.
Hilarious, bro. Hilarious. But you know what? Rank them because they're a blue blood. Who cares? They'll get exposed in Big Ten play. Guarantee it.
Well, they play
Calling it
Kentucky
now.
soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Kentucky either, so
Yeah,
I really don't.
I think Kentucky's better than Indiana.
I'll, I would hope that. But I do. I love MTs. I think they're awesome. And I think they give you some really good games. I think they should continue with them, keep them on. I don't, like there was that tournament they played on like a Navy ship, like just cool stuff like that, man.
Mhm.
Like that's college basketball in itself. I don't want to go away from the MTEs because I think you get some matchups that you would not get otherwise. Like you can schedule all day. I mean, paint schedules really good games, but most, I don't. It takes teams out of their element.
Well, it's like
You've
last year,
seen it.
right, when Memphis beats UConn.
Yeah, you've seen it. Like neutral court games are a wild card.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Alabama come up and beat Illinois in, the United Center. Like, I love matchups like that. I like the Indy Classic, like stuff like that. I mean, it's just different. And these MTEs are different. Like, you have to go to the Bahamas or you have to go to Hawaii, you know?
Well, I think
Um,
it's also good for team building, right?
yeah, it is. And like, you get to know each other, fly, travel. See you later, Saluki. Thanks for hanging out, brother. Have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, buddy.
Yeah, MTEs are dope. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do them. You kind of pick where you go, and that's the best part about it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to go away from it. I love scheduling games, but I like these because they're weird, and I'm weird, and we all know this.
We do.
What about you, dude? I mean, what do you think on it? Am I wrong? Am I dumb? Whatever.
I'm with you. I love MT. I love anything that simulates March Madness, even in a small sample, is good for college basketball. Which is why I'm so divided on the players era because it's the opposite of March Madness. It's not a bracket. It's just a bunch of good teams playing in front of not very many people, and I like the MTE style. Like even the Purdue Texas Tech game, heavily Purdue fans, obviously, but it's a small arena. People are crazy. It's fun. It's hot. It's wild. And then if you watch the Running Point podcast with Braden, he's talking about going to the casino with the boys, loaning Omer $200, and Omer immediately winning 200 and giving it right back. There's just a lot that comes from those outside of basketball: team building, fun, excitement. Fans getting the chance to go. Heck, so many Purdue fans went to the Bahamas to hang out, got to be in the same hotel room as their team, got to spend time with their team, be right next to them, play cards with them at the casino. Like, cool, fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
for them. Last topic, and then we'll get into the leagues. Um, and this is a quick one. It's just the idiocracy of reactions to exhibition games. We see it every year. It never changes for some reason. We see Purdue lose to Kentucky, and everybody's crowning Kentucky and dethroning Purdue. And all that's happened since then is Purdue's beaten everybody, and Kentucky's lost to most good teams they've played, or all the good teams they've played.
Yep.
It's happened over and over. I believe Michigan lost an exhibition. All these great Houston apparently lost a closed door exhibition. So these exhibitions don't matter, and we need to stop treating them as if they do, or just stop playing open door exhibition games.
Yeah.
It's absurd to me that a team can win every game as the preseason number one team like Purdue has and lose a number one ranking for any moment. It's absurd to me that Houston did the same thing. They passed Purdue allegedly, and then Purdue passes them back. To me, it's just we've gotten into this so reactionary, so everything is everything type of mentality. Can we just accept that an exhibition game is a freaking exhibition game? I've never seen one that counted ever. They're exhibitions for a reason. Preseason games in the NFL don't matter. I remember a few years back, the Bears went 4-0 in preseason, and I was like, "We are back!" And then we proceeded to go 3-14. Okay, they don't matter. They don't matter. And let's just stop pretending they do. Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of cut and dry.
That was our agreement between me and you. No overreactions on exhibitions, man. Like, did it suck to watch us lose to Kentucky? Yeah, it sucked. Like, I don't know, but we talked about it, and it's like we don't run our stuff. They obviously scouted us. They got ready. You play that again, we win. I mean, you do. We're more disciplined, and I think it just like you've got teams that are not that good saying we're number one because you won a game in exhibition. I think closed doors are the way. Let people get stats and see who won, obviously, but I think keep it under wraps until the season starts, man. You're just prolonging the season to make more money at this point as conferences, and that's all they're doing. Um, it's all about the money, man. Follow the money in the NCAA. That's why they're talking about expansion. That's why you've got G League players coming back. That's all of this has to do with the almighty greenback George Washington $1 bill. That's what it all has to do with.
Mo
And
money, mo problems. To quote the
as
great 50
our
Cent.
your favorite rapper Diddy said,
Favorite person.
oh, okay. Sorry, dude. I thought you really liked his music.
No, dude, it ain't about the music. It's about his ethical performance, dude. It's about who he is as a human.
You're canceled. I'm clipping this, dude.
Hey, I did want a quick shout out. Anybody who's watching on X, I think we have like 15 or 20 people watching. If you can, head over to our YouTube page and click the like and subscribe button and get into the chat with us. We would love to have you over here talking to us, contributing to the conversation. So
Yeah,
just
jump
wanted to
in
get
on
that.
YouTube, man, because we've got the chat pulled up. We'd love to chat ball with you guys. So if you're watching on Twitter, get over here. Because I'm not watching on Twitter. We can't pull that up in our Riverside. So,
Okay. Anything else on that?
nah, man,
All
that's
right.
it. Follow the money.
Follow the money, dude. Show me the money. And
Stingy.
Tom Cruise will eventually show you the way. All right.
Yeah.
We're moving into now the segment of the show where we're going to go through kind of each league, kind of give our overarching thoughts. I'm going to ask a few questions, and then we're going to tier out the teams from each league where we think they stand, whether they're Final Four level, bubble teams, or none of the above, title contenders in the league. We'll go through our players of the years, freshmen of the year, best team in the league, surprise team, so on and so forth. So we'll start off with the Big East. Quick notes: they have two teams ranked currently: St. John's and UConn. Two teams in the KenPom top 30. Same two teams. They have zero teams that are unbeaten at this point, and they are 2-6 against the top 25. So I think everybody's pretty aware that the Big East has been down for a couple years, but especially this year, they look like they're maybe even more down than before. Nova's not all the way back. Creighton looks rough. Marquette's not good. So my first question to you is it just UConn and everyone else? You know, I'm watching right now. St. John's in a battle with Auburn, who you just said wasn't very good. St. John's has lost twice in the last week. Is it UConn and everyone else? You know, UConn's only 14th on KenPom, so they're not like barn burners by any stretch as far as KenPom and the analytics are concerned. So, what's your take on that? Do you think UConn's even that good? Do you think that there's anybody else in that league that's really on that level?
Yeah, I think it is UConn and everybody else. I think St. John's is that caliber of team. They're not playing there right now. Um, I think they have the athletes, but when you have that type of team, undisciplined, and you've got Patino taking them to the booty clubs at night, everything like that. Yeah, what do you expect, man? I mean, it's just Patino's past his prime, and I'll say that with confidence. He's past his prime. He's done, decent things at Iona, at St. John's. He's been, but I don't think he has it anymore. I don't think he can relate to these kids or, coach them. As a matter of fact, I just think St. John's is undisciplined. Connecticut, as long as Hurley's there,
Yeah.
I think they're just. I hate UConn. Don't get me wrong, I really do. But man, they know how to ball. They are disciplined. They run their stuff. We've even seen them out of character this year a little bit, but I don't think it'll last long. They're 11th in offensive rating and 13th in defensive. They got some ballers. They've got leadership in Caravan. Solo Ball's a great player. Braylon Mullins isn't even playing. Like that's a game
Right.
changer. Like you don't. Good luck matching up with that kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a baller. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Big East is anything to even talk about this year. I think they might get three teams.
Yeah. I mean, very well could. And that would honestly might be surprising if they do get three. So my next question, kind of right, we're kind of talking about a little bit. Is St. John's a fraud or are they actually good? From what I can see, they're not a very good 3-point shooting team. They give up a lot of offensive rebounds. They don't score at a high level. But like you said, they do have athletes. They do have talent. Are they a true team that you think could threaten for a Final Four eventually, or are they just who they are and they're probably gonna roll through the Big East pretty easily and be a maybe a Sweet 16 exit?
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think they're streaky. I think they're a Michigan of the Big East. I think overall, like talent level is high, really, really good talent. But like, I just don't think they can string together. It takes 6 games in
Yeah.
March to get there, and I don't foresee them being a team that can play 6 games in a row at an extremely high level. They'll roll first 2 rounds, whatever people will talk. They might body a couple teams, but it's like we saw it against Alabama with them. They're gonna get in shootouts and they're gonna lose. I mean, it's that's just what it is. If you score 100, good, but if you give up 105, you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, just how it is. There's more than one side to the game.
Yeah, I think I agree with you for the most part. St. John's to me is almost a team, first off, that I don't watch enough, but also is too early to call. I They're similar in a sense that they don't have a lot of like continuity in their lineup. So we'll see how they turn out. And then my last question before we get into some other stuff on the Big East, what happened? And maybe this is just as simple as when you lose guys like, not everybody's Purdue and reloads, but what happened to Marquette? What happened to Creighton? When I look at Creighton, they're a little different. They have 3 losses, but they're all against top 30 teams. However, they haven't won any of those, so that tells me they're not a top 30 team. And Marquette's looked exceptionally bad. They lost to Dayton. Just hasn't looked good at all. We play them soon. I was worried about that when the season started. Not worried at all now. They look pretty horrific. So, what do you think is the case with these teams? Are they just having a rough start? Are they just needing some time, or are they just not very good?
I think Creighton can be good. I think they've got the pieces. I think they've lost to some really good teams, like we saw the other day. Who were they playing? I can't remember, but
They've lost to
I,
all 3 of their losses are against top 30 teams.
yeah, I mean, I watched their last game. That they got that Dick kid. I think
Yeah.
his last name is Dick. He's a baller. They got that big man that Greg said would body Oscar Clough. Well, anyways, Marquette is not good because Sasha won't use the portal.
Yeah. He hates it.
Or Shaka.
I was about to say,
Shaka.
I was just
not
going to let that
Sasha.
go, but
Yeah, no, don't let things go, man, because then I
Yeah.
look dumb. Shaka
Yeah.
Smart won't use the portal.
Yeah, Shaka hates the portal, and like they obviously needed it with who they. I mean, they went back-to-back years losing Tyler Kolek and Cam Jones.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have a guy immediately in line to replace it, you got to go get somebody. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
I feel like those two teams are close to mid-major level, even though they're in the Big East. Like, I don't
They
feel like
like
they're.
it.
Yeah, I feel like they're smaller schools. If it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't know either of those schools existed.
Yeah, I don't know if they have football teams.
That's what I'm saying is like, I I feel like they're as close to mid-major as you can get. Marquette looks like ass this year, dropping bombs.
Appreciate you, Andy. Always here with the
Andy.
truth.
Andy, that's my take on Creighton and Marquette. Just they're not it.
Hey, don't get too early on that, Andy. It's a 5-point game, and there's still 4 minutes left. So, but yes, Kansas has made a hell of a comeback in that game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, I think we've covered. The Big East probably has the least questions. I mean, like we said, it's a couple team, maybe 3 at max 4 bid league. Just don't look very good. The only thing that benefits them is
Yep.
they're so bad as a league that a few teams are gonna look good. That's just the way that works. So,
Yep.
all right, what I want to do
Who's
now.
your player of the year?
Oh, you're trying to jump ahead of my thing here, buddy. Okay, I'll go there.
Well, go on your. All right.
So what I want to do real quick is just tier these teams out, okay? And I have 4 tiers.
Okay.
1 is Final Four caliber, okay? 2 is title contenders for the league, and then 3 is bubble teams. 4 would be everyone else, okay? Teams that aren't going to make the tournament. So, who do you think in the Big East is a Final Four level team?
I'll do it. St. John's and UConn, just to give them 2 in that tier.
Okay. I'm going to push back just a little. I think it's UConn, no St. John's. I think that they are a league title contender. I don't see them ever making a run to the Final Four. Are you
All right.
comfortable putting them in the title contender spot?
I am. I
Okay.
just was trying to give the Big East some love.
No, I just want to. Yeah, no, I don't want to give the Big East any love. I think the Big East sucks. Um, the only other league title contender that I could come up with, and if you have somebody else, let me know, was Villanova, and that's only because I know that they haven't played a ton of great teams yet, but they're the only team that I could even put in my mind that could compete with St. John's and UConn. Do you think that they deserve to be there, or should they be in the bubble team?
Yeah, I don't think Nova's on that level this year, buddy. I really don't.
That's fine.
They're not even close.
So when
It's
it comes to other bubble teams, or do you have another league title contender, or is it just St. John's and UConn?
St. John's and UConn. I mean, those are the only two, and it's not going to go any other way. I'll tell you that right now. I'll make that claim. Like,
Yeah, I would put a lot of money on the fact that nobody else wins that league too. But okay, so who do you have as far as other potential bubble teams in the Big East? I'll give you a couple, or if you don't say any of the ones that I'm thinking, I'll let you go first. So you
all
got
right.
Nova so far.
Yeah, I got Nova. I'll put Butler on the bubble.
Okay,
Um, I will put Seton Hall on the bubble.
love that.
And that is it.
Okay, I agree with you on those three for sure. The only other two that I would put there, and I did actually three, and I have question marks next to all of them, so that tells you we're pretty much in line here. Is Creighton? I do think that they could make a name because they have a good strength of schedule. Um, Georgetown, only because they're currently undefeated, I believe, or no, they have one loss. I think that they could be a team that makes it. I'm not sold on that. And then I think Marquette still ends up on the bubble. And that's just because of the schedule that they play and the fact that they play in the Big East. They're probably going to go 12-8 in the Big East and have a very good strength of schedule. And they have the name Marquette. So I think they end up somewhere around that like 8-9 line
Okay.
and probably lose first round. So do you really do you adamantly disagree with any of those?
Yeah, I do with Marquette.
Okay.
I don't think they're there. I don't think they even are a bubble team this year, but I'm not like adamant about it. I don't obviously watch a whole lot of Big East ball, but when IU spanks you, I lose a lot of respect for you. So
All right,
that's
so we'll just stick with what we had then. We'll go
all right.
UConn as a Final Four caliber, St. John's as a league title contender, Nova, Butler, Seton Hall, and Creighton. I'm going to leave Georgetown off as bubble teams. Okay, so they essentially have six potential teams that could make the tournament. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good one.
And then let's go into our like a little bit of award segment. I don't know how you have this broken down. So did you do like what you would give the awards to so far, or did you do what you think they will be for the season, or both?
I mean, this could work for both. How I did it, I mean, as it is as far as we've gone so far, this is like mid or November awards basically for
Okay.
me. But I think it could. I've got Zuby Ejiofor at the Player of the Year at 14.2 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. I think he is a major game changer for St. John's. And I factor that into my player of the year
Oh
statistics is
yeah,
like
100%.
what you mean to a team. Um, you want me to go on to freshman?
I'll give my player of the year, Bryce Hopkins.
Okay.
So far, think he's been spectacular. Know that the team is not maybe not excellent, but to me he's been by far the best player in the Big East. So
Yeah.
you've got Ejiofor, I've got Hopkins. Who do you have for freshman?
No. I've got Matt Hodge from Villanova. That's why I didn't go with Bryce for the player of the year, but I've got Matt Hodge from Nova at 12.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. Not a huge amount of freshmen with dude from UConn being out. So that's who I went with.
Kind of funny. You went with a similar guy. I went with the Caden Lewis
Yeah.
from Villanova. Think think the potential is outrageous there. Think he is An exceptional player, 13 and a half points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. I just think he's the engine that runs Villanova. If they're going to make it to the tournament, it's going to be because he overperforms. I think he had a lot of hype coming in, and I think for the most part so far he's lived up to it.
Yeah.
Best team?
UConn.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real doubt about that. The only way that changes is if St. John's wins tonight and UConn loses their next game. Then I can say, okay, I have no idea
Yeah.
who's the best team. Actually, I might just say there isn't one.
Yeah.
And then surprise team, or whatever you want to call it, team that's been surprising, that's been a dark horse that you think's under the radar, whatever you want to say.
I got a sleeper in Butler.
I like that. I think Butler's good.
Yeah, I mean, I believe they are. Haven't really. I don't know. Their adjusted is 71.7. So I mean, that's 83rd. It's not great, but obviously they haven't really played anybody worth talking about. So
Well, if we're being honest, 70s is really good for the Big East.
yeah,
I had the only thing I wrote down for surprise is wow, Marquette's bad. So that's my surprise, dude. They suck.
yeah, let's go.
It makes me upset a little bit. And then the only change I had, like for a season-long award, who I think will win it, I think Player of the Year ends up being Silas Demery from UConn. I just think that guy's got a lot to him. I think he's going to be the best player in the league, and I think Seton Hall could be a sneaky team that maybe gets a tournament win.
Yeah.
Last section of the Big East here, and then we'll move on to the SEC. The Big East, these are the 3 games, and I'll let you pick them, who you think might win these. 3 games that will decide the Big East champion this year. First one is UConn at St. John's, Friday, February 6th. Who you got in that game? That's at St. John's.
I've got UConn.
Okay. And because
Hurley,
yeah,
Hurley comes to play. So.
And because this league sucks so bad, the second game is St. John's at UConn.
I got UConn in that one too.
Yep, that's February 25th.
Yeah.
UConn wins both those games. The season's over. Really, this whole league might come down to those 2 games.
Yep.
The only additional game I have is the last game of the season, which is if St. John's is still in this running, will be a huge one, which is St. John's at Seton Hall, Friday, March 6th.
Yeah, I think St. John's will run that if they need to. If it's there, which I think they'll run it anyways. I think they are on that tier, and if they play good, I think that they can be in there with UConn. So
can't disagree with you. Again, just want to shout out anybody who's watching on YouTube and X. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Hop over to YouTube if you are on X and say hi to us. All right, let's move on to the SEC. So SEC, it has 7 teams currently ranked. However, this is kind of a wild thing. Only 4 inside the KenPom top 30. So AP loves SEC as they always do. KenPom thinks maybe they're not as good as people say they are. That kind of checks out with this next little stat. They're 3-11 versus top 25 teams. So they are getting beaten almost every time they play a team that is also in the top 25. SEC seems like a weird year for them. Seems like a lot of these teams that everybody was super high on, Florida, Bama, Kentucky, Arkansas, are good teams, athletic teams, but they're also very young and very new and very not like Purdue, for a lack of better terms. They're bringing in a bunch of new guys. So my first question to start off the SEC segment, who is the best team in the SEC? Because you've got Bama, you've got Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky. You've got a lot of teams that people want to say are the best team in the SEC. To you, who's the best team in the SEC?
Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, they're about to lose, honestly,
down 3 with 40 seconds left.
Yeah, but I think Kansas is streaky, and they're going to get wins like this sometimes. But I think Tennessee overall is the best team. Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee do not impress me. Like, obviously, the front court for Florida is insane. I think Kentucky has the potential, but they also have Mark Pope, who I told everyone about early in the season. I just don't think he's a good coach. I think he was a player. The only players that are good coaches are point guards.
That's very true.
Um, that's what I've seen a million times over. Is like you look at Dusty May. I mean, he's a great coach. Like people like that, like point guards are good coaches. Um, I don't know. Missouri's pretty surprising, um, but
Yeah, so
I'm
that
gonna
leads
go
me
with
into my next question. How good are Missouri and Vanderbilt? Both teams have played dog shit schedules, but both teams are undefeated. Both teams are ranked. Both teams look pretty good.
Let's hear your top first. Jump
The
back,
best
dude.
team in the SEC is Alabama.
All right.
And I know they've lost twice, but they've also played the hardest schedule in America, and it's not even close. And that will pay dividends in the future. I say that they're the best team because I know that they aren't even close to where they will be by March. Um, if I had to pick, a very close second would be Tennessee, and I know they're about to lose to Kansas. Doesn't matter to me. They have one of the best 1-2 punches in America with Gillespie and Ament. I don't buy into Florida. Every time I watch Florida, I'm like, why are they good? I don't get it. Xavier Lee looks bad. I don't think he was the guy that they needed. Now, that being said, I'm probably wrong about everything. So, how
Same.
how good do you think Missouri and Vanderbilt are? Do you think this is just a result of not playing anybody that's got a pulse yet?
I don't think that with Vanderbilt. I think their offense is, pretty stellar.
Yeah.
To be ranked ninth in the Kim Palm, I honestly haven't watched them play, so I'm going off. I am a box score guy right now. But if you're ninth, Kim Palm usually doesn't lie on offensive ratings. I will say Missouri, they're at 13th, so and Kim Palm's not overarching SEC. He's usually pretty unbiased, so I they're in the top 40 in defenses. No, I take that back. Missouri is 88th, so maybe Missouri is overrated, but Vandy, I mean, you're in Nashville, Tennessee,
Let's party, baby.
so kids are gonna want to go there, and I think that's why you've seen a jump in Vanderbilt football and basketball. So you know, get it going, dude.
I agree. Will Kentucky and Arkansas end up in the mix? They're both young, they're both talented, but both a little bit underperforming so far. And we don't have to spend a ton of time on this segment. Do you think that they end up in the mix? Yes or no? And if one or the other, why?
Boy, that's a hard question. I think Kentucky will, just because they have some veteran players. Um, I just don't believe in Coach Cal, man. I don't think Arkansas is that. Um, they play Memphis style ball. That's what we'll call it. Um, Trash ball, just one on one hero ball. So I would put Kentucky up there. I think by the end of the year in the SEC, they'll be a top 2, 3 team. So
Okay. All right, let's move down to team tiers. Final four caliber teams. Who do you have in the SEC?
we'll go with the top four. No, 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 no. Tennessee, Alabama are Final Four tier teams.
No Florida.
No.
Okay. Are you strong? Are you firm in that?
Yeah, do you know why? Because guards win in March.
I agree.
Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee are not those guards. I said that when Florida got Boogie Fland. I didn't like him at Arkansas. I don't think he's a good team player. I think if he went somewhere where it was all about him, he would ball. But
All right, league title contenders. I'll tell you who I have. You tell me if you disagree. I have Florida, Auburn, and Vanderbilt.
mm, Yeah, that's fine.
And then bubble teams, who do you have? I have, it's the SEC, so they're going to have a bunch. I have 6 bubble teams, but I'll let you go first. Let me know who you think yours are.
I'm gonna go Arkansas. Uh, man, Arkansas, LSU, um, Oklahoma.
Okay. I have Missouri, who I'm firm in. You're not going to get me off that edge. And then I had LSU, Arkansas, Georgia,
Mm.
Texas, and Mississippi.
Shoo. You know they're
Think
gonna get 10 to 12 teams
I know that's
anyways.
why I put them all there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the SEC, so
That's fair.
I
Nobody
think
does.
ESPN pushes it way too hard.
No one does, Dalton.
Yeah.
No one likes the SEC. Okay, let's go to awards for the SEC real quick. So far, player of the year for you thus far in the SEC.
Jacoby,
Gillespie. Yeah,
19.6 and 5.4 assists per game.
I like that.
I
Mine is
got
Keyshawn Hall.
okay
I think he's been outstanding.
from
Um,
Auburn.
yes.
Okay,
I think he showed up in big games. I think he's been very, very solid. Who is your freshman of the year?
Darius Acuff Jr. 16.8 points, 4 assists per game. The kid is nasty with it. So
Yeah, tough
what do
to
you
argue
got?
that. Mine's Nate Ament for now.
Uh, yeah, it's fair.
Tough to argue with either one of those. I think they're the 2 best freshmen. It's not really close. Best team?
Tennessee.
God, I was so dead set on that. Then they lose to Kansas just
Uh,
to make.
Kansas is good too, man.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna go with Bama though. I think I've been pretty firm in Bama. I think that they have a lot. I mean, Purdue was tied with them with a minute and a half left. It could have easily, if they beat Purdue in that game, people are really talking about them as one of those teams. um, and then, what's your surprise or sleeper team?
Yeah, it's Vandy, man. You said it.
Yep.
That's why I didn't put them in like bubble. I think they're gonna get in easily.
Oh, I
Um,
have them. Yeah, we had them in our contend for a title.
yeah. Okay. I got confused, but yeah, I think Vandy's a real surprise, man. I did not foresee that coming.
Yeah, mine would have been Vandy, but I don't even think it's a surprise now. So I put Missouri. I think
Okay.
Missouri could do some damage. And then the 3 games to me that decide this season: Saturday, February 28th, very end of the season, Alabama at Tennessee. Who do you think wins that game?
Tennessee.
Okay, yeah,
I
home.
just think Bama dies by the three sometimes, and I think Tennessee plays really good perimeter defense.
Yep.
So it'll be a tough one for them.
Last game of the college basketball season for the SEC: Florida at Kentucky, Saturday, March 7th. This could decide it.
Man, I think Kentucky
Yeah.
at home, big one. You know, it's going to be crazy in there, and I think that Kentucky's guard play is going to heat up throughout the year, and I think you'll see that, man. They've been dealing with some injuries, getting continuity. I think they'll be fine, but
Okay, I agree. And then last one's Tennessee at Florida, Saturday, January 10th. This is an earlier in the series or earlier in the season matchup, but Tennessee at Florida feels like it could be a big game early on.
that's a January game, sleeper game, straight off a break. I say Florida comes out and gets it done, honestly, in that one.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, playing at home is going to be huge this year because the talent gap is not that huge, man.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like playing at home is going to make a huge difference for people.
Yep. Okay, wraps up the SEC. We'll move on to the ACC. We'll try to move a little quicker because we're getting long on time here. The ACC, we have 4 ranked teams in the ACC, 5 inside the top Ken Palm 30. 4-6 against the top 25. So they fared pretty well. Funnily enough, Duke is one of those teams that hasn't really played anybody yet. But my first question is a very simple one, and maybe one if you don't know because you haven't paid attention, neither have I. So if that makes sense, is SMU real? First year in the ACC, I believe. If it's not, then I never noticed them being there. But they're undefeated currently. They haven't really played anybody, but they have played a couple teams inside the top 150. But they're 6 or 7-0. Do you think that they're real? Do you think that they have any sort of chance to make a run at this league?
I have no idea.
That's fair. Okay, let's move on. We don't need to get too far into
I
that.
don't know, man. Like I don't know.
Either. I don't either. I was seeing if there was any insight. If somebody in the chat knows, please tell me.
SMU, let us know.
Just know if it's 2 months from now, we do another one of these shows, and SMU's 20-5. Yeah, we said it here. Okay. My next question: Can a team like Duke or a team like Louisville, who are probably the two best teams in this league, can they really make a deep run, being led so heavily by freshmen and really not having a whole lot around those freshmen?
Duke can, Louisville cannot.
Okay. Any
Louisville, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Duke play anybody this year, but when they do, they're gonna smash them.
Okay.
The talent level on that team is so high with Sarr and Boozer. I mean, these aren't your regular guys. Like Boozer could win National Player of the Year, honestly, and that's me saying that with Braden in the running. This guy is unreal. Like he hits 18-footer. He's 7 foot. He handles. I don't believe in Louisville. I think they beat a reeling Kentucky team at home. Like cool.
And damn near gave that game away.
Yeah, I mean they let them back in. They were up 20 or something.
20, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay. My next question is North Carolina back?
Yeah, I'll say they are. I mean, they got that freshman
Caleb
Wilson. He is he's a single-handed game changer, dude. Kid can ball. I mean, and from what I've seen, they got some talent around him. They play pretty good defense. So I think, yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll be a 4 or 5 seed.
I agree. How good is, or I guess how bad is the middle of this league? Is the middle of this league going to drag down the Louisville, North Carolina, and Dukes of the world as far as like where they get seated in the tournament? Or is it going to help them because it is so bad that they're just going to roll?
It's a good question, man. It's hard to tell where they're at right now. You've got
like
teams
Miami,
like
Virginia, these teams. Like, what are they?
Yeah, Virginia Tech, Florida State. I mean,
right.
All the power conferences right now are freaking like they're all 6-0, 5-0, 6-1. Like the wear and tear of the season is going to get to them at some point, and I don't know. I mean, they're all rated pretty high by KenPom. I mean, their tournament teams in the middle clear down to, I would say, probably Virginia Tech. But do I think they would ball with the Big Ten? No. I would put Nebraska against the middle of these and watch them beat every single one of them. JP Danger, what up?
What up?
Who that is?
Who that is? Who are you, JP Danger?
Identify.
He said, "Yeah, basketball."
Shooty hoops.
Shooty hoops.
Man. We got a real fan.
My favorite comments so far. So obviously the ACC is the league of the freshmen, in my opinion. Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Michael Brown, 3 of the best freshmen out there. So let's tier these teams out. Who do you think are your Final Four caliber teams? Oh, it's Joe Bockover. What up, Joe?
Oh, is it?
I don't know if that's real, but I don't know who else would drop that name.
Joe Bockover. What up, man? Who
are your Final Four caliber teams here?
I got Duke and Duke.
No Louisville?
No, I'm not high on Louisville, man.
I'm gonna fight for Louisville. I think that they're there.
You want to fight, dude?
Yeah, let's fight over it. And then who are your outside of Duke and Louisville? Who are your title contenders for the league?
I'll throw North Carolina in there, and that's it.
The only other one I even thought about was NC State, and I'm not sure about them. I'm
No,
not
they're
sure
not
about them.
good, bro.
But I do think they're better than. You think that they're not good?
No,
Huh.
I don't. I
Interesting.
don't think they're good. So
We'll just leave it at UNC. Who do you think are bubble teams? I am going to put NC State in the bubble teams.
yeah, I'll put them in the bubble team. They're gonna make the tournament, like obviously, but they're not they're not gonna make anybody cry in the tournament. We got Clemson, Wake Forest will make it in. Uh, I don't know, probably.
Virginia,
Yeah, I think Virginia will. Um,
Florida State,
mm, that might be a reach.
SMU.
SMU, man, let's see what happens.
I'm gonna put them
I
in
don't
there.
I don't know. Put them in there. I don't think that I don't think Florida State will. I don't know. I don't. The ACC sucks, bro.
They're terrible. Hate them. Okay, we'll move on. So we got NC State, Clemson, Virginia, SMU, and Wake as our bubble teams. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Player of the year.
Cam, 21
Boozer.
points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. Come
He's
on,
solid.
bro.
I'm going Caleb Wilson though.
Oh, all right.
I assume your freshman is also Cam.
No, my freshman, you can't give them both when you got two freshmen that good. I got Caleb Wilson as a freshman of
Bro,
the
you
year,
know what's so funny? I had the reverse. I had Cam Boozer
20.5,
as my freshman of the year and Caleb as my player.
10.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists. I mean, balling.
I
That's
think we're
balling.
in agreement that one of those two is going to win those two awards.
Yeah.
Best team.
Duke.
This is the one I know. I knew I was going to differ on you with. I have Louisville. I think Louisville's better than Duke. I think Duke is not that good.
Okay.
And who's your sleeper?
Why? Why?
Why? Why?
Yeah.
To which thing? Why do I like
Why?
Louisville or why do I not like Duke?
Why do you think Louisville is better than Duke?
I think Louisville has more of a complete team, and I think Duke is extremely dependent on young talent, and young talent tends to let you down in March.
All right, that's fair. I'll go with
Now,
that.
that's not to say that Louisville doesn't have young talent. They have Michael Brown, but they also have veteran talent, and I think
Okay.
that's one thing that Duke lacks.
Fair.
Who's your sleeper?
Wake.
I don't hate
Dude,
that. I like that.
watching them at the Baja Mar, man, if they get it together, they're a dangerous team, man. They got a lot of athletic dudes, big dudes. I just think their coach sucks. I just
Their coach is one of the worst play calling coaches in America.
like he's a I how did he get the job? I have no idea, but good on him. And I think Wake is a sleeper if they can pull it together and get their guys playing together. Hey, thanks,
I
Joe.
think. Thank you, Joe. I think I agree with you on Wake. I do like them. I think Clemson would be my pick. Outside
Okay.
of Wake, I just think that they have the talent, they have the ability. I do think this is a two-horse race in the ACC, unless UNC is better than even I think, and I think they're pretty good. Then it might be a
Right.
three-horse race, but at best, it's a three-horse race. Um, and it's going to come down to these three games that I'm about to tell you about. So first we have Louisville at UNC. That is on Monday, February 23rd, one of the last few games of the year. Louisville at North Carolina, very, very, I think, going to be a very important game. Who do you think wins this?
DeVille.
You think so?
Like I'm not high on them, but I think they're gonna win. I they're not gonna win the ACC, but they'll be second, and they'll be tough. You don't want to play them in the tournament. I still think they're a good team. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong on my hate, but
No, I disagree on this game. I think UNC wins this game. I think UNC is going to be very good. I think they're a top 10 team by the end of the year. Not yet, but they will be. Next game is Tuesday, January 6th. The first, I believe, post-Christmas game for either of these teams is Duke at Louisville.
Yeah, give me Duke.
Okay. Oh, on the road. Nice.
Who's gonna guard Boozer on Louisville? You tell me that.
I think they're probably just gonna like accidentally spill some water on the floor.
That's dirty, man.
Might be dirty, but
I
Pat
wouldn't
Kelsey's
I
here to win
wouldn't put it
games.
above Pat Kelsey, dude.
Kelsey's here to win games, my guy.
He's a nasty boy.
Last game is the game of the year every year, right? Diggy B, UNC at
Oh,
Duke. Last game of the
get,
season.
get real, dude.
Who
Cameron
wins?
Crazies. The diaper
Cameron
dandies.
Cases. Diaper dandies. The crazies.
They win
All right.
it, dude.
All right. We finally wrapped up one turd, and we'll move on to another. The Big 12. So let's talk about the Big 12. 5 ranked teams, 7 inside the KenPom top 30 because analytics love the Big 12. However, they are 6-11 versus the top 25. Good, not great. Or bad, not horrible. I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah.
Very bad record against the top 25. My first question, and we kind of hit this on the beginning, and I think it's going to be my question all year long until I see otherwise. How good is Iowa State?
Iowa State is a Final Four caliber team.
Okay. I think that kind
They,
of sums it all up.
they have bucket getters. They have depth. They have older guys who are experienced, good guard play, and tough defense.
Okay. Okay. How good is BYU?
BYU is a talent juggernaut. BYU is going to face the same problem a lot of teams are in March, that they have not played together.
Can't disagree. I think I think Iowa State is what BYU was supposed to be, and BYU is what Iowa State was supposed to be.
Yep,
Um,
fair.
Next question: is Arizona, because of their little 3-game stretch against teams that have turned out to not be as good as people thought, is Arizona getting too much hype, or should they be the number 2 team in the country?
Arizona should be the number 2 team in the country. They
Okay.
went out and did their job, bro. Like, say the
Yeah.
talent or maybe the wins are slipping or other teams are losing, but they got the job done. And in my eyes, they are the second best team in the country behind Purdue. And I would not want Purdue to have to play them.
Yeah, I want to be on the other side of the bracket. Yeah, I agree. I think Arizona is good. I don't know that they're number 2, but they've earned that spot. Whether they are that spot doesn't really matter. They've earned it. They've showed it. Now it's about keeping it. They play in the Big 12 now, so you're going to find out what they're worth.
Yeah.
My last question, because the final one I had just got dismantled when Kansas won, is Houston. Do we have a problem? And my take on this is not that Houston's bad. My take is I've watched Houston's games a lot this year, and they haven't beaten anybody by very much. Even the bad teams and bye games they've played have all been kind of sketchy, kind of close. I just don't see it. I don't see the same level of defensive prowess, and I see almost nothing offensively. Are they even that good? Like, to me, I watch Houston play. To me, they're maybe in the 10 to 15 range.
I wouldn't go that far. I'll keep them probably 8 to 10. They are defensively very tough, but if they play a team that's a high-powered offense, like we saw against Tennessee, they're gonna lose. Like, Tugler plays stupid. He's always in foul trouble. They Uzon, what it
Uzon?
what the Uzon, that's his name. I mean, he's a good guard. You know who's the best player on that team is that freshman.
Oh, that dude's a stud.
What is his name?
I literally had it
It's a
written
good,
down.
yeah. But the freshman guard is, even though he doesn't know how to wash his face, he is their best player by far.
Yeah, he's I mean, and that's kind of a. I'm trying to think of the right word here. It's kind of a shout out to the failures of them. That their best player on a team that returns good players from a championship game team is playing like their best player. Kingston Flemings, I believe is his name. Escaping me.
Flemings, yeah, that's it. Why
Um,
couldn't I think of that?
he's very good, but my point, my biggest issue with that is like he shouldn't be their best player, no matter how good he is.
Yeah, I mean Sharp is good. Like obviously Sharp's talented, but um, just haven't seen all of it from them yet. Like they still gotta put it together too. It's they'll be there, man. They're gonna be a pain in the ass come March. It's just what they do, and
Yeah,
their defense is gonna tighten up even more. And they're already the number 2 in Kim Palm in defensive rating. Like that,
I agree.
they're gonna win dogfights. Like that Tennessee one. I mean, that just showed you how I think how tough Tennessee is. Nothing about Houston. I
Right.
think that was just who got more, like every game, obviously, but who could score more.
Who put more points on board?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
They win
And
game.
ultimately, that is what basketball comes down to.
It is about that. Okay, let's move into team tiers. First off, I want to say, anybody watching, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We got 40 people on X watching. Please go over to our YouTube channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Really does help us.
Yeah, because I'm
Um,
looking at 2 people on YouTube right now. I'm like, man, we're almost an hour and a half in, and I'm reeling. I need
yeah,
some love over here,
I need
dude.
some water if we're being honest.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so, Final Four caliber teams. I actually have 5 teams in the Big 12 that I think could be there. Who are your teams in the Big 12?
Yeah. Iowa State, Houston, Arizona, BYU, and Texas Tech.
Exactly the ones I had.
Yeah. Yep. That's Final Four caliber right there. I expect to see one, maybe two actually in there.
Yep. Title contenders.
For the league, oh man, just give me the top six. Give me their top six. I mean,
Only
well,
people I
obviously,
added from those first ones we announced was Kansas and Baylor.
yeah, I don't think so, but you can. That's fine. I
I'm gonna put
really
them.
don't believe in Kansas or I think
I mean,
Baylor's
Kansas just
garbage.
beat Tennessee. I think Kansas they're doing this without Darren Peterson because he doesn't even want to play basketball.
Yeah.
So this is kind of crazy. Um, and then bubble teams, I'll say mine because there's so many damn teams in this league that could be on the bubble. Is Oklahoma State,
Okay.
Colorado. I think
Damn.
they feel like they're on the bubble every year. Cincinnati and K State. Now K
Okay.
State just got obliterated by IU, so I might have to take that one back.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off that ship. I'm gonna go Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, West Virginia,
Okay.
um, and TCU as my bubble team because of how TCU played against Michigan. I think if they pull it together and play their style ball, they're a tough team.
Okay. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Player of
Well,
the year.
all right. Off the wall, Joshua Jefferson. Right now,
Okay. I can tell you
Iowa
that
State.
there is only one answer to this question. It's
That's
PJ
fine.
Haggerty.
Okay, fine.
26
Whatever.
points, 7 assists a game.
Cool. Your
Leading the
team
nation in
sucks.
scoring. Doesn't matter. Leading the nation in scoring.
I don't
Um,
care. PJ Haggerty wasn't good at Memphis. He's a doofus.
well, he's good now, and he'll be
Okay,
loved.
fine.
You'll love
Whatever,
him.
dude.
You will
Okay.
love him.
Cool.
Freshman of the year, AJ DeBonsa. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, just next,
Yeah, next. Best team.
Iowa State.
I like that call. I'm going to go Houston because I do think that's who ends up being the best.
All right.
But I also doubt the hell out of them.
Mm,
I know that I'm an oxymoron that walks and talks. So
yeah.
when I say that Houston is not who I thought they were and we have a problem, I also mean I've
They're
also
gonna
spent
win the
I've
league.
spent the last 6 years watching college basketball, and they win every time. Who is your sleeper?
Cincy.
Okay.
Tough D. Tough D.
I know this isn't a true sleeper because it's also the team you picked as the best team, but I picked Iowa State because they came into this year for sure as a sleeper. And they've surprised a lot of people. Now, my biggest surprise in this league was the fact that Darren Peterson hates basketball. And we'll move on
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, it's weird.
3 games that decide this season. February 21st, Arizona at Houston. Probably the game of the year in this league. Who wins?
Houston.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Gonna put him in a blender, dude. That freshman, Pete.
Oh, Koa Pete.
Pete. Tugler's gonna put him on skates, bro. I mean, like not offensively, but defensively. Like Pete's not gonna know what to do.
That's
Like
probably
Tugler
true.
he's a man. So
Can't argue. And then, funny enough, same day. Tell me this isn't a slate in this league. You have Arizona at Houston. Then the same day, Saturday, February 21st, you have Iowa State at BYU.
yeah, give me Iowa State at BYU.
Ooh, man. Gonna take over the Mormon wives, dude.
I'm high on Iowa State, man. I just think they are tough, man. I think their defense is good. I think they have scorers. You know, they've got that Marshavich or whatever Eastern European dude.
Mamasilovich or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He can go get a
Mamacita?
bucket whenever he wants. You need guys like that to win big games.
All right, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. However, I hate it.
All right, fine.
No, I'm just kidding. I think that if you're like me and your wife watches Secret Lives of the Mormon Wives, you understand
You hate
they
your
don't
life.
lose. That they don't lose. Okay? And they will divorce
None
their
of the
husbands.
players
for no
are
reasons.
Mormon, dude.
I know, but they live there.
Zero.
Like literally, that whole show is set like right outside the BYU campus. Anyway, I digress. It's a terrible thing to talk about. Let's.
My
move on.
cousins went to BYU, bro.
Dude,
They're
my
Mormon.
best friend growing up, Tim Kai. Shout out if you're watching. I know you're not. Tim Kai Clark's a Mormon. He is. He went to BYU. He's a Mormon. He loved him. It was his favorite team. And he was the best 7th grade running back in football I've ever seen when it comes to juking people. So we'll move on. Last game, Texas Tech at Arizona, February 14th. Who you got?
Arizona. I'm taking the home team every time. In these big games,
Consistent.
I am. Like, seriously, it's hard to win on the road.
I'll tell you this. I think that Texas Tech is better than people think at this point, and I think that Arizona is not as good as people say. But I'm not going to get into that. Let's move on to the Big Ten.
Can't wait to clip that.
Our favorite league, the Big Ten. 6 teams ranked, 7 teams inside the KenPom top 30. Purdue, the only team without a losing record against the top 25, 6-6. Or not Purdue, the Big Ten. 6-6 against the top 25. And almost all of those 6 losses come from the very bottom of the Big Ten. So the top half of the Big Ten is 6-1, and the bottom half is 0-5. So Big Ten seems very top heavy and very strong at the top. So my question is, first, how many of these Big Ten teams do you think realistically get into the tournament? My first thought is 11.
Let's count them. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Who do you appreciate?
You know what? Give me 11.
I think
was
it probably
close
ends
on
up 10.
12. Yeah.
I think 11's real. Next question. Don't like to ask it, but have to. Is IU real?
Yeah. I don't think they're like insane, but I think they're gonna win some games, like some big games that we're not gonna be thrilled about. I think they are for real. I think they have a high talent level. They paid and bought a team. It's what these teams do, man. They pay the money. They go out. Like, do I think they're cohesive? No. Do I think they're a single unit? Do I think they played anybody? No. I think they're going to lose games. I think they're going to win some they shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it actually helps Purdue. I think they're going to beat a couple teams that Purdue needs them to beat, for Purdue to really run away with the Big Ten title. So I do think
That's every year, Andy. Every single year. Preseason
Yeah.
champs every single year. Preseason, dude. Oh yeah, we're so good. We're a new coach, and then by the end of the year, they're calling for his head.
Yeah, Andy, thanks for being here an hour and 40 minutes into this episode. We
What
are
a
wrapping
legend.
this up. We'll be done here in the next probably 20 minutes so we can watch this Michigan game. But thanks for sticking around because
What a legend, Andy the legend.
Andy is a legend. You ever want to be on the show, Andy, you shoot me a message on
Yeah,
the Twitter, and
we'll make it happen, brother.
I will absolutely let you in. Next, how good are Michigan and Illinois? I know that they're always. It feels like Illinois is always the team that's like huge ceiling, low floor, blah blah blah. Don't care. How good are they? How good is Michigan? And what are your expectations for them through the season?
Michigan is a Final Four team. Illinois has Brad Underwood. So they're the talent level. Stoyankovich, Maravich, Petovich, Sinovich, all the East, the Russians. Like,
All the bitches.
I mean, yeah, a bunch of bitches, dude.
Bunch of
Anyways,
bitches. Dude, that's gonna be my new thing towards Illinois. They're just a bunch of bitches.
a lot of bitches there, but Big Z. I mean, they got the talent. They're tough. The top four teams of the Big Ten are.
Nasty.
I hate to say it, they're interchangeable, man.
I think they're just all nasty, dude.
Yeah, I just think the Big Ten is really good. Where they're really good in their mids in the mids.
Well, so that leads to my next question. How good is Michigan State?
They're top four. Izzo does it again. They're cohesive units, man.
Yeah.
Michigan and Illinois are hodgepodge, so they may struggle in times where you need to know your teammates. Like we've seen with Michigan, they're turnover prone. I think Illinois is beatable, like we saw against Alabama. Like, there's going to be games where teams like that fall apart because just they don't know how to play together. Michigan State is not that. These guys know each other. Like Izzo is like Painter. They'll take a team you don't think should be good and they'll be fucking good. So
Yeah. I agree. I think Michigan State is probably not going to win the league, but I think they're going to piss a lot of people off.
they're for real, man.
Oregon,
They got-
UCLA. Oh, go ahead.
No, continue.
I was just going to say Oregon and UCLA both were predicted early in the offseason and stuff to be really good contenders in this league, especially UCLA. I don't see it. Hasn't shown itself. UCLA's already got 2 losses, not great ones. Are they not as good as expected, or is this just a rough start in your opinion?
Hand up moment. There is a clip of me saying that UCLA is underrated and they should be higher and they'll be a top 10 team. However, I was wrong. They are Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin, not a good coach. Give that guy all the talent in the world, and he will not build Amazon out of it, even though he looks like Jeff Bezos. So
Like a short one.
UCLA is bad. I think Shellstad comes back and Oregon turns it on. I think Oregon could be there.
Yeah,
Missing your best player is tough, bro.
it is tough. It is tough. It'd be like you doing this podcast without me. Is Nebraska solid? They have 4 top 100 wins. They're undefeated. Mast and Sanford look deadly. I mean, Rick or whatever his name is, Rank Mask is shooting 50% from 3. Is Nebraska for real? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they're good. They're tough, man. Not much else to say. They got shooters. They got, they got everything. They're tough. I believe they will be a tournament team. I don't doubt it. That's all. I mean, Haven't got a lot of footage on them, but have seen clips, and they're good.
Yeah, they look good. Price Sanford is better than his brother.
Yeah.
He's very, very good. Last question, then we'll get into our tiers and stuff. Big three for USC. I think a lot of people have kind of not paid attention to USC. They're undefeated. They have Rodney Rice, Baker Mazzara, and this guy named Asar. I think that's his name. Averaging 58 a game between the three of them. 20, 19, and 17. That's a pretty solid structure. If you have three guys that can light it up on any given night like that, do you think USC is the best West Coast team? And do you think they have a chance to potentially sneak in and be one of these top four teams in the Big Ten?
I think they're the best West Coast team. I don't think they're anywhere near our top four. I think IU is better than them. I think Iowa is better than them. I don't think they're that good. Chad Baker Mazzara, get a job, dude. Graduate already. Van
Get a
Wilder,
job.
like, we're sick of you, dude. Just, yeah, he's the reverse G League guy. He just won't leave college. Like, he's not
Just go
coming
to the
back.
G League already, bro.
He's just gonna stay there forever. No, I think USC's good. They'll be a tournament team. I don't think they belong in the top 6 of the Big Ten.
Wow. Okay.
What's up with you? You sound
I
like
like
you
'em.
want to fight about it, dude.
Dude, I like them.
Okay.
I think they're the fourth best team in the Big Ten.
Who you're
like 'em.
moving out? Who are you moving out of the top 4?
Michigan
Put
State. I think
USC in.
I don't think Michigan
Oh
State.
my god.
I know. I have to do it every year. I have to
Elite
doubt
guard
them.
play. Elite
Doubt
guard
them.
play.
I will doubt. Yeah, Jeremiah Fears is legit.
He is
Um,
he is the man. Like,
I don't buy into everything else though. I think all you got to do is let Michigan State shoot threes and you'll beat them.
yeah, I mean, but
It's
you
hard,
think Izzo's
easier
gonna-
said than done though.
I mean, Izzo's gonna, yeah. You got Cohen Carr flying over your head, dude. I think you just flew over my house, actually.
Well,
Like-
if you get caught in the right wind right now. All right,
God,
Final Four caliber Big Ten teams. Who you got?
Purdue, Michigan.
No Illinois.
No, I don't. They have Brad Underwood.
That's fair. I actually agree with that.
I'm gonna say it
Um,
again. They have Brad Underwood.
League title contenders, obviously Illinois, MSU. Who else you got in that tier?
Yeah, that's it.
No Indiana, no Wisconsin.
No. I would put Iowa there before them.
Okay. So then let's go to bubble teams, tournament teams. Obviously IU, Wisconsin, probably Iowa,
Yep.
USC for me. Who else?
Yep.
UCLA.
Ohio State, UCLA, Nebraska, and I think before it's all said and done, Washington slips in there.
Yeah, I had them too. I had Washington listed.
I don't
I-
think Northwestern stays. I think Washington. They're 60-60 in Ken
Yeah.
Palm right now.
I think that makes sense. That's 12 teams. I think they end up with 10 or 11, and obviously the bubble is the bubble. So you're going to have some get in, some get out.
Yeah.
All right, player of the year.
What? We even need to talk about this, dude. It's
I think we
Braden
do.
Smith.
I don't think it's Braden Smith at all right now.
All right. Well, that's fine, but you're wrong. I mean,
I think my thing would be right now, if I was picking, it would be John Blackwell. If I had to pick for the year, it would be Braden Smith.
that's where I'm at. Is like, if I had to pick right now, it'd be Yoxel, but we're not picking right now. Like,
Freshman, because oddly enough, the Big Ten does not have a lot of talented freshmen.
David Mirkovic, 15 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2.9 assists.
Yeah, I was gonna go him, but I don't believe he's a freshman in my heart of hearts, so I went Keaton
Oh.
Wagler.
Oh, Keaton Wagler's a baller, dude,
Yeah,
for
he's
real.
solid.
But
He's both from
Mirkovic
Illinois.
is listed as a freshman.
Yeah, and I'm listed at 6'4" on my postcard I send out every Christmas, but I'm not. Best team.
It's Purdue or Michigan.
It's Purdue. Let's stop. Although Michigan's already dominating Gonzaga.
So we're exactly the same. Okay, our offensive rating is 129.4, number one in the nation. 97.4 defensive rating, 18th. They are 19th in offense and number one in defense. So
They're
we're
number
just
one in defense.
yeah, 90.4
Wow,
defensive rating. I mean,
that ain't holding.
they're
I'm sorry,
they're pummeling teams, dude.
ain't holding.
Okay. I mean,
Just my
I
thought.
don't want I don't want to play Michigan. Like I'm
I don't either.
they
I'm glad
scare
we
the shit
only
out of
play
me.
them. We only play them at Mackey. That's good
Yeah,
for me.
they literally scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like they're a team that I think can beat you by 100, or could be like, we'll figure this out tomorrow, and you could beat them by 40. No, not 40, but 20. But Michigan they look the part.
Yeah.
They really do. I'm interested to see how a team like Michigan, and don't take this the wrong way, handles playing a Big Ten schedule every night in, night out, constantly playing another game, another physical battle. Because right
Getting
now,
beat up.
I think that what they've been doing is they'll play like three horrible teams, they'll play one good team, and like they've won their last three games by 100. So yeah, they're not really that worn out. But hell, right now they're beating Gonzaga 15-5 to start this game. There's only been 4 minutes of gameplay. They have 15 points. So
Hmm.
um, they got a lot of talent. That's all I'm going to say for that for now. I don't want to make this a Michigan suck the TD. Uh, who is your sleeper in the Big Ten?
Sleeper, as in to win it, or sleeper that team is better than
I mean, we've done
people
this
thought.
exercise 4 times. Whatever you want it to be.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say a team that's gonna be better than everyone thinks is Washington.
Hmm.
That's my sleeper. They're not gonna win the Big Ten, but they're gonna be a lot better than everyone thinks.
I agree. Mine was USC. Obviously, I went to bat for them earlier. All right, three
Yeah,
games that might decide the season in the Big Ten. First one, Thursday, February 26th. Close to the end of the season. Michigan State travels to Purdue. Who wins that game?
Purdue.
Purdue doesn't lose at home. I agree. The next day, Friday the 27th. This little 2-day stretch could decide the whole Big Ten title. Michigan goes to Illinois. Who wins that game?
Michigan.
Might be the most interesting game of the season in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because I think Michigan's better than Illinois, but at Illinois, and that could have so much on the line. It'd be an awesome game. That'll be a cool 2-day stretch right there.
Crazy, dude.
And then the other one I had was Michigan at Purdue, which is Tuesday, February 17th. They only play one time, so I think the only chance Michigan has to win the Big Ten, because Purdue has a drastically easier Big Ten schedule, is to beat Purdue at Purdue. Do you think they can do that?
Yep. That was when we did our predictions. That was my only loss for Purdue at home was Michigan. Like I don't want to sound like a Michigan fan. This this
Dude,
team
they're
is
good.
insane, dude. The depth that they've got some older guy like we just saw Mara like
I think he just dunked from
suck.
the free throw line.
Yeah, it sucks.
He's up. They're up 22-7 against Gonzaga. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. So
and yeah, they're good. They're good. The only hope that I have against them is that Purdue can match up to them. I think a little bit physically, and
yeah,
we have Painter.
it's the truth.
That's what I don't. I mean, I think there could be a. I know that all the hate on the Big Ten never making Final Four or never winning titles in the last whatever many years. I think we could have two teams in the Final Four, and I don't even know what two teams those are.
Yep.
Michigan,
I think
Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State, I think all have the ability to get there.
yeah, you're right. It's facts.
And I think
Yeah,
Michigan and Purdue will be, by the time we get to that time of the year, will be two of the top four teams in the country.
yeah.
And they
I
already
think
are.
Michigan should already be up there. So
They're fourth in
um,
KenPom.
yeah, and we're second. So I mean, AP. I don't know if the AP will let that happen, but it's what it should be.
Well, I mean, it
So
might because what I just said. I just read that game off. We don't play Michigan until February 17th. So I think that's a top five matchup by the time it gets there. I think that game determines the Big Ten. Okay, let's
yep,
move on from the Big Ten. We're almost done. We're round and third here. I know we've been going for damn near 2 hours.
2 hours,
That's crazy.
new record.
New, you have made a new record. Okay, mid majors. I just want to hit a few that I'm impressed with so far. Gonzaga, obviously, I don't really care to get into them too much. George Mason has been very good. They're a top 50 Ken Pom team, undefeated. UC San Diego, another very good team. Um, Utah State and Santa Clara, St. Mary's. Are there any mid major teams that really stick out to you other than Gonzaga?
I don't consider Gonzaga a mid-major, even though they are. I think Memphis, you'll see them in the tournament. I really do. Um, hate to say it. I I think they're if they can mesh. Um, yeah, Andy, that they do look like that. I think Memphis is good. I think Wichita State is decent with my boy Willeberg. Um, he's doing pretty good. I'm excited for him. I think Wichita State will be a tournament team. Other than that, excuse me, sorry, dude.
Wow.
I do not. I don't watch a whole lot of mid-major ball, to be honest.
That's fair. I mean, I don't watch a ton. I keep an eye on it because I'm in the Survivor League and stuff. But um, yeah, I think George Mason is probably sneakily going to be under the radar all year, but is maybe one of the best mid majors in the country. They're very, very good. UC San Diego was very good last year. They're very good again this year. Utah State's always good. They have an awesome home field advantage, home court advantage. So yeah, I mean, I always encourage people. A lot of times we get into these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday game or weeks where there's not a good game on. Go find a mid-major game that's on and watch. It's a different brand of basketball, and you'll see superstars out there, and those superstars will soon be superstars at D1 level, like high major level, because they're going to get poached, and that's unfortunately, it's just a feeder league for the high major level at this point. So Purdue, everybody that's a Purdue fan wants us to go get a big four next year, stretch four. People are talking about Caden Pierce, this kid that's taking a year off or whatever. Go watch the mid-major games, and you'll kind of see what the difference is between a true four that you think you're getting from a mid-major and one that you truly are getting. We've seen a lot of mid-major players move to the bigger leagues this year and not really translate quite like they were expected to. Yeah, Xavion Lee, for instance, hasn't been all he was cracked up to be. Yaxel has been fine, but he has not been what they were talking first team All American lock. He's not been that. Um, there's more to it than just performing at a mid major level, and there's reasons behind that. But okay, sorry to ramble there. We're almost to the end here. We're gonna hit just our overarching big time what we predict going in. Next week starts Big Ten play for Purdue, starts league play for a lot of teams in this early league stuff. Who are your official, before we really get down to it, Final Four teams?
Okay, put me on the spot. I'm gonna go Purdue, Michigan, Houston, and UConn.
Oh, God, that would be devastating. Basically, every team that I don't really want to see that bad in the Final Four. Okay. Mine would be, and I think this would be incredible, being that it's in Indianapolis, is Purdue, Michigan, Louisville, and Gonzaga. Now, the fact that I'm watching Gonzaga get smoked right now does not help my cause, but I'm going to stick with it because that's what I wrote down before this game started, and this game's not over yet.
It's fair.
But
Few is a great coach. They'll get better.
they're going to walk to a 1 seed
Yeah, I mean,
because they play in the conference they play in.
yeah, or it could, it kind of hurt them in the past, so maybe they won't. Who knows?
That's my
But
thing, though. National Player of the Year.
Empoy, Braden, I'm still there.
I'm gonna go Cam Bruiser.
Damn, you're
People.
riding the Ken Palm Trail hard, aren't you, dude?
No, I just know that voters love Duke,
Yeah, that's
and they're
true.
probably getting real tired of Purdue players.
Yeah. Well,
Coach of the Year. This was very hard for me. I just
TJ
took a shot there.
Otzelberger.
Oh, okay.
TJ Otzelberg.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. I feel like TJ's done a good job with a team that maybe people didn't give him credit. You know, I feel like he's doing a great job with a team that nobody thought he would be where he's at. So,
I'm taking a crazy one.
okay.
Fred Hoiberg.
Fred Hoiberg.
Nebraska, baby, dude.
Nebraska ball.
Nebraska's
Wow.
going to go. I'm calling my shot. Nebraska's going to go. They're going to win 23 games in the regular season.
That's hilarious.
They're going to finish 5th in the Big Ten.
That's pretty good. I like it.
I think they're good. And last one, National Freshman of the Year.
Give me the booze, man.
I'm going to go with the old, how could the hell can that happen? Boozer's my player of the year, and Caleb Wilson is my freshman of the year.
All right. You switched that up earlier in the ACC.
Yeah, I can decide, dude. These are mine.
You're insane, dude.
Okay.
Coach of the year.
What do you say? If Purdue does the thing that nobody does and they won't, there's no way it actually happens. Okay. There's a lot of things he said there without saying anything at all, my guy. I assume you mean go undefeated.
Or win the Natty.
Yeah, but they announced that before, I think. If Purdue goes undefeated through the Big Ten regular season, yeah. Okay. We'll win it all. Everything's going to be won. We won't lose anything. All the awards, all the stuff, all the things will be won by us. Okay, last segment here, and then we will get out of here after what will be initially probably 2 hours and 15 minutes. A little bit crazy, a little bit rock and roll. Last but not least, if I can find my thing here. Okay. Upcoming big games. These are. I just want your winner. I don't need a number. I don't need a point total. Just who's going to win these games. These are games coming up. Obviously, we have a head start on game 1. I didn't expect this show to go this long. Michigan and Gonzaga tonight. Who wins?
Michigan.
Yeah, well, gave you a pretty good head start there, pal. Michigan State and UNC tomorrow.
Michigan State.
All right, I'm going UNC there. Oops. Hold on a second. Okay, Duke and Arkansas tomorrow.
Duke.
I'm going to go Duke. UConn versus Illinois on Friday.
Illinois.
I'm going UConn.
Okay.
Florida versus Duke on Tuesday.
Duke.
I'm going to go Florida. I don't think Duke's all they're cracked up to be. UConn versus Kansas on Tuesday.
UConn.
I'm going to go Kansas. Oh, we got some differences here. I'm not just intentionally picking the other team. North Carolina versus Kentucky on Tuesday.
Kentucky.
I'm going North Carolina.
You suck, dude.
Sorry, dude. I already had these all pre-picked. Michigan State versus Iowa on Tuesday. I know that's not
Michigan
a huge name
State.
matchup, but it starts the Big Ten. MSU.
State.
Yeah, I'm going to go MSU. Louisville and Arkansas on Wednesday.
Louisville.
I will also go Louisville. Okay. Cool. So we got some big games coming up. Those are just games in the next 6 days. or 7 days. Pretty excited about those. I think the UConn Illinois game is going to be electric. Michigan State UNC tomorrow should be also really good.
Yeah.
Again, 57 people watching on Twitter. Please, before you get out of here, please go over to our YouTube page, Double D Sports, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help us. Hit the bell notification so you get notified when we do go live. We try to go live as much as possible. We aren't perfect, though. And we do talk a lot of Purdue, but we try to split up some of these episodes where we talk a little bit more about other teams. We'll try to maybe, we haven't really talked about it, but I'd like to do maybe like a one a week or so where we just go through the games of the week that were really big or what's upcoming, kind of just more of a broad overarching podcast than just Purdue stuff. And try to keep the Purdue stuff a little more nice and tidy as far as time goes. But appreciate everybody who's watching. We got 60 people on Twitter. We've had people on YouTube all night too, in and out. Appreciate Andy in Colorado, Saluki, you guys. Blake Widmer's always in here first. Just the guys who are always here, always supporting us, always watching us. We really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And the state of college basketball, if I was a president and I was ending this, I would say the state of college basketball is good. The state of college basketball is ever changing, and the state of college basketball is something that must constantly be adapted to. And we're seeing that every day with college basketball, where sometimes we don't always like what's happening, but we still love the sport. You still watch these games, and you can still see these kids fighting for their lives out there. And it still matters to them, and it still matters to the fans. And as long as that's still the case, I'll continue watching. But the days when it stops and guys are taking days off because they need rest, or they're taking days off because they have a commercial shoot, things like that, I will no longer be a fan. But for now, the state of college basketball is alive and well. It's still the greatest sport in the history of the world, just like America is the greatest country in the history of the world. So, give me your final thoughts, Dalton. Anything else you have left to say? We've only been on here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Anybody who is still watching is probably a psychopath just like us.
Right. State of college basketball is alive and well, baby. The battle to March is going. The battle to March is strong in November. We are blessed with these games in November. December will be a different month as conference plays kind of kick off. We have non-con games. Just it might be a little boring compared to what we're used to in November, honestly. But hang in there. Watch your team. Cheer for your team. Talk your trash, dude. I love to talk trash to people online, so please talk trash to me if you're watching. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Help us grow the channel. And one day maybe we'll be a big podcast. So thank you guys. We appreciate you for real. And I love ball. That's it.
Tell your family you love them tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.